Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Andy Cohen reacts to Wendy and Eddie Osefo's alleged fraud. I'm really sad about this. Reality TV fans got a surprise this week when news broke that the Real Housewives of Potomac star Dr. Wendy Osefo and her husband Eddie Osefo had been arrested on multiple felony fraud charges. While Bravo is no stranger to drama, we literally just watched the grande dame herself, Karen Huger, get arrested earlier this year after allegedly crashing into a fence and tree before being hit with DUI and reckless driving charges. The Wendy situation has landed differently. According to officials, Wendy and Eddie claimed their home was burglarized sometime between April 2nd to 7th while they were vacationing in Jamaica. They reported that more than $200,000, or $3.7 million, worth of designer handbags and jewelry was stolen from an upstairs bedroom. But here's where things start to look messy. Investigators say the home's indoor and outdoor surveillance cameras didn't pick up any motion or signs of a break-in. Neighbors' cameras also failed to capture any suspicious activity in the area. And now, Andy Cohen has finally weighed in. On his SiriusXM radio show, Andy Cohen Live, the host and producer admitted he, like the rest of the public, only found out about the charges when they hit the tabloids. Like all of you, I found out about the charges against Wendy and Eddie on Friday morning, and there's not much that I can say, he told listeners. I know nothing of the charges more than you guys do, than what I've read. Even though he stayed cautious, Cohen felt sorry for the couple. I'm really sad about this, he said, calling Wendy a great housewife and a great role model. He highlighted her commitment to education and her strong family values, showing the softer side behind the reality star persona. Fans know Wendy as that girl with all the degrees. She's a political commentator, educator, and mother of 3, Carter, 11, Cruz, 9, and Cameron, 5. Cohen made it clear that his thoughts are with her children during this tough time, saying, I'm really thinking about her and her family. Meanwhile, a spokesperson for Wendy said on Friday that she and her husband are back home and doing well. For now at least. When the call came across, an alert, a breaking news banner flashing red, Andy sat back in his chair with the lightweight headphones still on. The voice on the phone was rapid, urgent. It's Wendy and Eddie. They've been arrested for fraud, burglary report. Claims of stolen luxury goods. Surveillance shows nothing. This looks bad. He paused, closed his eyes for a moment. He thought of all the seasons of the Real Housewives of Potomac he'd hosted, the cast dinners, the reunion rows, the glamorous photo shoots, the confessional moments. And among them, Wendy had stood out. She had been the professor, the voice of reason, the sister-mother mentor figure. He remembered her speaking earnestly about her children, about her academic work, about uplifting her community. Now, the headlines read, multiple felony fraud charges. According to authorities, Wendy faces 7 felonies, and Eddie several more. They say the couple reported a burglary in April 2024 while they were vacationing in Jamaica. Designer handbags, jewelry, tens of thousands of dollars in losses. But surveillance footage showed no break-in. Neighbors recorded nothing. Some of the alleged stolen items later turned up returned to retailers. Andy sighed. He swallowed hard. He gathered his voice and when he went live on the radio, on his SiriusXM show, he spoke carefully. Like all of you, I found out about the charges on Friday morning, he said. There's not much I can say. I know nothing of the charges more than you guys do, than what I've read. Yet even within that measured statement, something shone through. He was upset. He admitted, I'm really sad about this. Because this wasn't just another tabloid scandal. This was a moment of dissonance. Of someone he had held in high esteem, perhaps believed in, now embroiled in something that threatened everything she publicly represented. Integrity, education, family values. She's been a great housewife and a great role model, he added. She has always led with education and her solid family values. Andy glanced at his phone screen, the social media posts, the comments flooding in. Can she bounce back? Is this the end of the brand? What does Bravo do now? A swirl of questions he couldn't answer yet. He knew the legal process would take its course, but in the interim, the speculation would be fierce. In his mind he walked through the scenes. Wendy on the carpet, Wendy in the classroom, Wendy at dinner parties. He remembered the way she carried herself. Confident, poised, articulate. And he wondered, how would this breach in public trust feel to her? To Eddie? To their 3 children? To the community she had spoken about so passionately? He even allowed himself the question, if it's true, if the alleged misrepresentation happened, what drove it? Fear? Hubris? Desperation? If it's false, what now? The damage is done regardless. He sat back in the studio, the red on-air light glowing. He rearranged his script, but this wasn't about production. He took a long breath and said, I'm really thinking about her and her family. His words were simple, but weighed. He added, I'm certainly hoping this is all some big nothing. The phrasing, some big nothing, reeked of hope, of disbelief, of holding on to the possibility that somehow the narrative would reverse, that the public figure he respected could stand firm again. Then came the professional implications. Andy had to balance his roles. Host, executive producer, industry peer, public confidant. He couldn't directly intervene, but he could steer the tone. Empathetic, cautious, respectful of due process. He knew the cameras and tabloids would lean toward sensationalism. He decided to anchor himself in human concern rather than headline fodder. He pictured the episode of the show, already taped before the charges came to light, where Wendy and some of her co-stars faced off. How would that footage air now, in retrospect? Would viewers watch it with new eyes? Would production rush to edit disclaimers? Would Bravo release statements? He didn't know. What he did know was this. Integrity cracks are magnified when the person involved has built their image around integrity. And Wendy had done just that. As the days unfolded, the legal filings emerged. 16 fraud-related charges, according to the arrest record. The couple posted $50,000 bond each and were released to their home and family. In one article, it was noted that Wendy's episode of a spin-off, Wife Swap, the Real Housewives edition, was pulled in the wake of the arrests. All of this added up to a massive pivot point, not just in one person's life, but in the broader reality TV apparatus, where image is currency and authenticity, or its appearance, is the commodity. When your brand is schooling children, doing podcasts, raising 3 young kids, Wendy's children are ages 11, 9 and 5. The stakes are different. This isn't just about drama on a show. It's about trust, credibility, reputation. So when someone you once publicly lauded for those exact qualities is now in alleged legal trouble, it's a betrayal of sorts, for the viewer, for the ecosystem, for the person who once believed. Yet Andy resisted cynicism. He didn't retreat into, I told you so. He stayed grounded. I was as surprised as anybody, he told TMZ. That line is key. It shows he didn't see this coming either. And so his reaction, though public, felt personal. Because he recognized the duality. Yes, this is big news. Yes, the allegations are serious. Yes, the ramifications are enormous. But also behind the headlines. A family, a career, a life. He imagined the phone call Wendy will make, if she chooses to speak publicly, when she stands before cameras or journalists. Maybe she'll say, I am innocent until proven guilty, I love my family, I regret the distraction this has caused, or, I recognize the hurt and confusion many of you feel. He wondered how the cameras will capture her children's reaction. He wondered whether Eddie will release a statement of his own. He wondered whether the production will cut their storylines or keep them in limbo. Andy's tone remains open-ended. He did not condemn. He did not celebrate. He did not dismiss. Instead, he calibrated to a place of concern. In his radio show he said, There's not much I can say. I know nothing of the charges more than you guys do. I'm really sad about this. He also made clear his respect. She's been a great housewife and a great role model. But he also posed the question that hovers over the story. Can someone live up to an image and always maintain it? What happens when the image cracks? We'll watch. We'll wait. We'll wonder. In the reality TV world, maybe even more than elsewhere, the facade is part of the appeal. And when the facade falters, the fall is loud. In closing, Andy leaned into personal empathy. My thoughts are with her and her children. I hope this becomes less than what it appears. That hint of hope, and belief, is maybe the most poignant thread. Because whether or not the allegations are true, what remains undeniable is the human cost. A reputation on the line, a brand being interrogated, a family under public scrutiny. And in his reflection, Andy seemed to say, no one wins easily here. Not the show. Not the networks. Not the fans. Not Wendy. Maybe only time and transparency and truth will determine the outcome. So for now, the microphones are hot, the cameras are tuned, the headlines are spinning. And Andy sits quietly, behind the scenes, hoping for clarity, hoping for justice, hoping that someone he admired still has the chance to emerge with dignity.